Can you believe that another week already flew by? Hey guys, it's Saturday, we're back on TohirT channel, Tahir is here. How are you? I hope everyone had a fantastic week. In last video, we were talking to Juan, who is a 30-year plus veteran in the real estate field. Today, we'll be talking to two young entrepreneurs, two young apprentices, and as I refer to them, Padawans of the real estate space. These two young guys are very promising future real estate agents. They're in their very early 20s, Alejandro and Henry. They impressed me personally a lot, and I brought them in for this conversation because I thought that a lot of you might question how relevant was Juan's experience after 30 years in this space. And if you are currently considering starting off your career, you might look at him, shrug your shoulders and say, yeah, it's easy for him to say after several decades in this industry. This is why we have Henry and Alejandro with us today, because they will shed the light on what it feels like and what are the main challenges about starting off your real estate career. In this first section of the video, we're talking to Alejandro and Henry about how did they actually get to meet Juan, what drove them to start this career, and what the first couple of steps look like.
My name's Alejandro Pizarro. Before turning to real estate, I'm gonna go back a few years. As a kid growing up, I was always business minded. I just liked talking to people, trying to persuade. I always looked at ways to persuade my parents whenever I got in trouble or whenever I needed something I actually wanted, So growing up, you have friends who see things that you have and they may want it. And, kids sometimes just give it away. In my case, I wasn't really like that. I always looked at how to make a deal, so I sold a lot of things growing up. Getting a little bit older, I started dedicating my life to soccer. That's one of my biggest passions. I grew up playing in Portchester, and then when my parents saw that I had progressed enough, we made a big move to Argentina. Both my parents just dropped down, left their jobs, and we went. They had faith in me, and we went, and we just did what I wanted. They tried to complete one of my dreams and made it happen. So we moved out there at the age of 13. I was out in Argentina and I was playing. Soccer was just something I dedicated my life to for a very long time. Once I felt that I was doing pretty well, competitive-wise, seeing my progress throughout that time, I decided to come back to the States, where I joined a few academies, got promised a lot of things that never happened. I've made peace with the sport in terms of that I did everything that I possibly could have done and did not go pro, which was my dream, but I've made peace with that. So going back on what I first said about the business-minded, I ended up, graduating from Portchester High School, going on to Monroe College, did a semester there. I ended up not going back to school after the first soccer season. I did soccer there too, I was killing it, highlights online, going to class, doing what I had to do. Once the season ended, I just no longer wanted a show. So I didn't, I spoke to counselors and they said, honestly, sometimes college isn't for everybody. So I did some research and I looked into the real estate. You really don't need to have that 4 to 6 to 8 year career in college. You just have to go and you take a course, 60 hours for the most part. You pass the final and then you go on to take your state exam. So I was like, maybe this sounds like something for me, because it's a business where you can make big amounts of money, but I didn't have to be in school, something that I didn't really enjoy, that whole time. Ended up, taking that chance and taking a course up in Norwalk Community College, passing it, and then, just kind of going from there, meeting Alana, which is Juan Carlos's daughter, our boss here at Sunbelt. I met her a few years back from high school. And then one day I sat in his living room and I told him, I was like, listen, I'm gonna be taking this course. And he said, feel free to come once you're ready. And, at that point I didn't really know Juan Carlos that much, because I just was going over there, hanging out with my friend, which was his daughter. So, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this in mind. But a lot of people tell you this, like, okay, come when you're ready, or do this, do that. You never know if it's actually gonna happen. But when I was ready, I actually texted him, and it was like that. We got busy.
My name is Henry Daniel Recinos. I grew up from Yonkers, New York, and then ended up moving to Greenwich. And growing up, my whole passion was to be an actor and to be involved in the entertainment industry with music, acting, being in the limelight basically. So business really wasn't something that I kind of grew up with. After the age of 12, my parents divorced, and that was a huge burden that I had to deal with for like another couple of years. And you know, it really did take a toll, because that was the age from going from middle school down up to high school, and you know, everything kind of just went downhill from there. I kind of wanted to channel any negative energy into sports, and so I got into wrestling, I got into rugby. And that being said, once I went from there, I started looking into acting schools and stuff like that, just to see if I could even have a shot. And once I went first time, I found out that it was a scam. And once I did that, I was easily discouraged. And then I said, all right, now I have to have a fallback plan. Then I came across Joseph A. Bank, which is a men's clothiers, and I started developing these salesman skills. And once I did that, I started to realize, wow, like this is pretty fun. Like I get to interact with people, understand where they're coming from, and really get to know someone without being a sleazy person who, you know, manipulates them. In fact, it's just simply having a conversation, being friendly. And I love being friendly with people. It's one of the greatest things that I feel I'm comfortable with. You know, I met Juan Carlos through Alana, which is our friend as well, through high school. Very, very intimidating man, but you know, he's quite the character. I mean, he's very nice, you know, overall an outstanding individual. And you know, jokingly, he said, you know, hey, feel free to come over whenever you want. And then I said, okay. So then I told him what I do as a profession. I told him that I, you know, sell suits, I'm into sales and that kind of thing. And one night we went over for dinner, myself and a friend of mine. And he said, hey, brother, so when are you going to work with me? And looked me dead in the eye. And I was like kind of lost for words. I was just, I don't know, when you willing to, you know, I was just completely lost for words. But he had a smirk, but behind that smirk, I knew he was not kidding around. And so when I saw that he actually saw something in myself, you know, it kind of sparked something within me. And so I realized, well, if I'm okay, or I'm pretty good at selling suits and understanding relationships in interpersonal selling, why not try to challenge those skill sets that I learned into something bigger and much more challenging? And I guess he saw that in me when I didn't. And so to that, I give thanks to him. And you know, here I am.
My follow-up would be some almost like interesting trend I see between both of you, right?
Yeah.
It's that whether it is some sports adversity, right, and it's going through certain challenges, either it's some personal adversity and then going into sports and then facing other challenges, being let down by people, but still persisting and continuing kind of like push forward.
Right.
How do you think people should go about finding it in themselves at your age or in later stages in life?
You have to have like not a strong personality, but you really have to just be open as a person, to be willing to face obstacles and not, you know, not give up right away, because nothing good comes easy, ever.
Anyone that's our age, I think they're at the age where they can understand who they are. So being self-aware, understanding what their, you know, strengths and weaknesses are. If they're able to do that, you know, once they know who they are, then I'd say give it a shot. You know, see what you're made of, see what you didn't think you were made of. And if you feel that you're easily discouraged, I'd say just surround yourself with people that are positive, always encouraging. Because if you're someone that's, you know, you've had it all and you're comfortable, you're not really going to swallow defeat that well. And you know, I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit on that side too, but slowly and thankfully, you know, I'm growing out of that little bubble of being, you know, either insecure or getting defeated. Because as I mentioned before, I was easily discouraged when I got let down, that I found that it was a scam. So I'd advise people that, like, you know, yes, it's one thing, you get discouraged, but please try to bounce back off of that. And I know, easier said than done, way easier said than done, but once you've realized you've actually done it and you see some type of results, you'll feel a little better and you'll have that. And you know, I feel that just trying, keep on trying, being persistent is the only thing you can do.
When you think about what was your vision, impression of the career before joining, as just like looking at, for example, Juan, or looking at any other type of real estate agents, and now that you're a little bit of time in, did anything change? Was there like a big thing, big aha moment when you're like, oh, I didn't really think that there was this way?
Oh, I'd say it was fairly like intimidating in the beginning seeing it, or it was more impressive actually, being outside of the business. Like, wow, you sell homes, that must be quite the challenge. And you know, when you walk in, it's like, okay, it is as impressive as he says, but as long as, you know, you just keep trying. But I'd say it's taken a turn for the better. When you walk into the world, you actually see what it, you know, consists of. And I'd say you got to give somebody a pat on the back if they succeed in this kind of business, because this is, you know, a business where you have to be persistent, you have to be strong-minded and willed. And honestly, I don't, you know, I didn't really see a huge difference, but I just got to say that it's very impressive for anyone. So, yeah.
I came in with the sole idea of that there's money. That's just how it is in this business. I think what you put in is what you'll get out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So if you want to make you know, those 6 figures a year, don't think a few phone calls, you know, a week and just hanging out on your laptop is gonna cut it, because it won't. You understand? We got to do a bunch of different things. You got it from the calling to the door knocking to the mailings, the follow-ups, the just you know, making sure you're on top of all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's gonna get you up there. You understand? Being that person outside the box. Because the thing is, I could go knock on a door right now, anywhere, and they could have had a realtor before me. So what makes me different? You understand? What's gonna put me into that house and getting it off the market so that I could be making the money that I'm looking for? And that's gonna be being different. If you're the one that's different, if you're the better one, if you're the one on top, you're making the bigger bucks. Same here. Because we, Henry and I, are in competition with hundreds of other real estate agents in this city right here. Just right here, not even the county, just right here where we're at in Stanford. So what's gonna make us different? We gotta take advantage that we're in competition with all different age groups. So we have a lot of advantages that people older than us, or, you know, others in the same profession didn't have before, which is gonna make us different.
I didn't mean to cut you off on this one, but we also have this. Like, we have technology at our disposal. We grew up with it. You know, we can access 5 to 6 different networks within one, you know, shot, and you know, we're always around it. So I mean, you know, I've seen this guy go at his laptop to then go into his phone, then going back to the laptop to grabbing the phone. I mean, it's just, we have everything in the palm of our hands. It's just a matter of going at it. So anyone going in our age group just needs to understand that we have the tools. We just got to apply the effort. That's what has to separate us from everybody else. So.
In the second section of the interview, we're diving a little bit deeper into the topics like what the present day is like for them. They're still learning. So what are they learning? What kind of skills are they trying to acquire as they're preparing themselves for a successful career in real estate? Let's come back to their conversation. Out of your toolkit, here's this like one go-to tool, whether it's particular social media, whether it's particular app on the phone, anything that you don't think you'll be able to be successful in this job going forward?
Right now we're working a lot with this new thing that we've signed up for. It's called Vulcan Center. So what that is that it gives us an everyday update of all expired and for sale by owners in the area. So listen, it's like I'm starving right now, and I'm getting put right here a big plate of food. It's my choice to continue starving or to take it in and eat it, you understand? All I have to do is get on my laptop, sign in. I have over 300, 400 contacts a day. For those who don't know, the majority know, but for those who don't know, we don't get paid hourly here. You know, I could come to the office for an hour. Doesn't matter. I could come for 12. You understand? So, you know, without that, I'd have to, you know, back in the day, what Juan Carlos was doing, phone books, knocking. You don't even know if someone owns the house. You understand? You're just going out there and figuring it out. This is telling me everything. This is telling me that X person and Y person are selling it on their own. X person and Y person couldn't sell before. It's giving me the whole message. All I have to do, boom, touch the number. Hey, it's Alejandro Pizarro from Sunbelt. You know, what can I do to help you? Can I apply for the job in selling your home? I want to apply for the job, not getting you a listing. I want to apply to make the sale, seal the deal. That's already making me different. And I can't do that without this. You get me? I won't know if X person is trying to sell if I didn't have that update every day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've gotten together, you know, a bunch of times, and you know, it got to a point where we were like, you know what? Yeah, we've been making these calls and all that, but let's really cross our T's and dot our I's. Let's see how we can perfect these, you know, these phone calls and these tools that we could use. So we've been meeting with Juan Carlos, and you know, he's helping us sharpen our blades, for lack of a better term. And now it's just a matter of us really just keeping it going, keeping this consistency going. But you know, I'm just so grateful that we're at the age where technology is at our disposal, whether we want to or not. You know, going from a laptop to an iPad to an iPhone, I mean, anything really, it doesn't even matter. But as long as you have that hunger, I mean, it doesn't matter what the generation is. It's just as like, you know, persistence and hunger, and he's starving.
In this final chapter, similar to our conversation with Juan, I'm tasking those guys to tell me a little bit more about their vision for the future. What do they think real estate marketplace will look like when they're almost 30 years into their career?
We were talking about this a while ago. If they can incorporate something with virtual reality, showing homes with, like, while people are not really mobile necessarily. I mean, there is the FaceTime or whatever, but you know, you get a vague, yeah, exactly. You're not going to be able to do that. Whereas maybe they can come up with something where, you know, they can see it on a broader scale, and they don't really have to travel to go see the property. I mean, obviously you'd like to see the property, but just as like a backup resort, so I'd say maybe virtual reality.
For this business, I don't know if getting too futuristic with it is a positive per se, because like I said, you know, to be very successful in here, you kind of want to take on the job. You understand? You kind of want to put in the effort and the work. So I don't know if anything more than just the computer and the phone is actually gonna, you know, I can't really think of anything at the moment that'll be a huge game changer. Because right now with just the computer, being able to see everything right in front of my eyes and then getting on the phone leads me to being into face-to-face contact with the client, and that's really for what I think at the moment is what you need. You know, you need to get the biggest step is to kind of being face-to-face with that client, because then you have your chance to, you know, pitch your sale, show them why you're different, give them an idea of how you could sell their home for them, what you could do for them. I think being in person is just huge.
Now, aside from the technology, when you think about the skills, what do you think you need to work on going forward to be successful?
For me, it's honestly just constant reassurance that you're gonna get to your goal. And I mentioned it earlier with the acting thing, how I got easily discouraged. You know, old habits die hard. I have to, you know, that's something that I have to consistently work on. And I'm grateful that I have these two on my team, because they're both just tunnel vision. And, you know, I have that from sports, but I never really applied it to life. And it got me successful for the most part because with my sales job, but you know, as the challenges get harder, your mindset has to get stronger. So like I said, I'm grateful. I think for me, what it is just constant reassurance that you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it, and that's it. That's all it is. It's just, I feel that I just need to work on getting my mental strength much higher. Even though I have it, I feel like it has to get better. There's always room for improvement for anyone. So that's for me.
It's gonna be like more or less the persistency level is gonna have to shoot up the roof as the success comes. So like, I mean, I've gone to Juan Carlos's house and he has the laptop here, he has the iPad down here, and then he has the phone like right here. So the busier you get, it's like boom, 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 boom. But you know, there's always room for procrastination, and that has to be brought down to a minimum. To get up and, you know, get to the desk or open the computer, it's like, you know, it's tedious, but you know, it's something that has to be done. Once I'm sitting down, I just go into it. Like, you know, once I'm going into here on the computer, reading, getting on other leads, you know, checking out the prospecting scripts, taking notes down, it's just like I get into it. When I do the reviews for my final exam for the state, you know, getting the book to the table and opening it up, yeah, that's the hassle, but once I'm doing it, it's like, boom, you know, focused. So just kind of minimizing the level of procrastination is something that I really need to focus on, and, you know, work towards as, you know, the more busier we get. So yeah, that's something, that's where the room for improvement is going to be for.
People would want to find you or hear more from you. Are you active on any particular social media where you think people should reach out to you? Is there contact information you want people to just have it as part of this video?
Well, for me, they can contact me on my email, which is henryr820@gmail.com. If you'd like my telephone number, 914-815-5625.
My number is going to be 914-565-4672. And then I'm going to refer to the company website just in case if anybody wants a broader view, not just of us, but of what it is that we represent. You get me? So we have sunbeltus.com. That's going to be our website. You could look into it further, see what we're about, you know, what it is that we're representing. And then Facebook, if anything, is just going to be Alejandro Pizarro. Pizarro is going to be spelled Pizarro. Right there, you'll find new content of our big hit video that we have with the big boss, and of the video that has to come right now. So, you know, that's where we're at right now, and that's what we're going to be doing.
Awesome, gentlemen. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a great time.
Yeah, pleasure was ours.
Hopefully it's first but not the last.
Looking forward to many more, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a good time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Well, this is it. Again, I would like to thank both Alejandro and Henry, and I would like to extend special thank you to Juan Garcia for providing their time and offering this opportunity to talk to them about the real estate career and real estate industry in general. I personally was very impressed with both guys. Again, to remind you, they are in their very early 20s, and these guys are already having the right mindset when it comes to this space, and I think they're gonna achieve a lot, whether they're gonna stick through this career for the next 30 years or they will go ahead and explore something else in their lives. Thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to say hi to both Alejandro and Henry, and go make sure you wave another hi at Juan Carlos Garcia. They all can be found at the sunbeltus.com, or you can go ahead and just contact them directly through some of the social media channels that I'm gonna post below. These guys are amazing. If you're looking for the real estate agents, go ahead, you have my full endorsement. Or if you wanna learn a little bit more from them, go ahead and reach out because they have a lot of interesting stories to share. Let me know if you want me to continue making this kind of insights into different careers and industries, because I do have plans to talk to a couple of other professionals in different fields that I found exciting and who I think are not getting enough light shed on them. Like the video, share it with your friends if you're coming from the real estate industry, or if one of your friends shared this video with you and you are currently in the real estate industry, let me know what you think about it. I hope that I shed some positive light on your career and your passion. I hope that we change a little bit that negative connotation around real estate agents' career and help people realize real estate agents are doing a lot of great things for us regular people who are looking for the American dream to come true. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you are the subscribers, really nice seeing you. Thank you for your patronage. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. There are a couple of buttons around, and I'll see you all next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern on this channel. Peace.